Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's a weekend edition, August 8th, 2026. We're doing this on Saturday. Wanted to take a look from the weekly time frame, check out the candles, check out the indicators. We'll look at VIX and we will go ahead and see what kind of scenario we possibly are carving out. For members, I did a whole video on distribution. You can catch that video. Click on that link up top or at the end of this video. And if you want to get those type of in-depth, educational, in-depth videos, please consider becoming a YouTube member for $10 a month. It's only going to last at $10 for so long. Or you can also do the $3 supporter if you want to get intraday videos during the week. Okay, so let's jump into it. We have SPX on the weekly time frame. We had that breakout from the obvious range here. Did I think that we were actually going to break out instead of break down? Yeah, I mean, I thought we were going to break down. It did not, and we were ready for that situation. So what does it tell us now? It tells us now that we have another reference of divergence, and we did not have that in the near term, and that's what we're going to look at in just a minute here. So keeping it simple, we have a wedge, and we haven't quite touched that wedge, but I'm going to show you a different point of view on the daily time frame. And there's also futures. I started doing futures for members as well, so there's some really good squared out Gann analysis on there, and also Fibonacci fans, or not fans, but forks. And we're lining up really well for another point of interest for an objective short. All right, so let's check this out. According to the moving averages, we're clearly not showing any signs of bearishness. That's not the point of this. What we're trying to identify is the fact that we're having distribution. Okay, so the momentum's up. The trend is up. There's nothing to say otherwise at this point. By the way, our candle, Maribosi candle, we should be looking for a reversal candle this week. Now, do we get a little bit higher and create a tail candle? Do we get a inside week Harami? Do we get a bearish engulfing? We don't know what we're going to get for a reversal. All we know is that we're looking for another top. Okay. Yes, this was a top. Yes, this was a top. Was it the top? Well, there's no really such thing. I'm looking for a top of a recession, but we've never seen the market go below zero. So it's going to keep rising in the long run. So top. And really why I'm saying this is because a lot of people, oh, it's a top. And then, 2008, they said, oh, that was a top. And where was that at? Now we're way above it. So it's a local top. So we're looking for a top again here off a bearish rising wedge. We're forming divergence. And here you go. Here's where we were looking right here. We said we did not have any divergence. No divergence. So in this near term, because we already had a correction, we had a beautiful correction and a new high on the RSI. Right here is where we said, well, we don't have that near-term divergence like all the other tops here. All these other tops had a divergence. It doesn't mean you have to, but it's a much bigger clue that you're getting some sort of distribution. So here's your distribution. And now that we made a new high, we have a reference for distribution. Now, if price continues to just rip to the upside and you make a brand new high here, that's all washed off. That's very, very bullish, and it negates our plan here. So in the long run, what I think will happen with the RSI, and if you come into our Discord that comes with any of the memberships, Jeff is a lot better than I am with this, but in the future, we'll likely have some sort of consolidation with a move lower here. We'll probably get some sort of consolidation here in the RSI. as price corrects lower and then gets bounces. So look out for that, and we'll keep an eye in the future for that scenario. All right. Well, we didn't talk about, we're starting, to try to cross here, and we have a divergent high here as well. We actually have two. So in the former high, in my opinion, a wave 3 into a wave 5. We'll talk about that on the Elliott wave as well. And now a larger degree 3 into 5. We're getting these divergences over and over. And even back here forming this wedge, you can see where the wedge actually started. Boom. Bollinger Band, we had a reversal off of this setup here. We don't have that same kind of setup, so we'll see if we get to that upper band. I don't think so, but if we do, then we'll look for a setup there. DMARC. DMARC, no, we have a 3 count, but no setup. Elliott oscillator, this is very important for the Elliott oscillator. Same thing, a wave 3 into a wave 5 right here. And then a higher degree, wave 3 into wave 5 right here. And then on that lower level, lower degree, we had a wave 3 into a wave 5. So that gives us lots of confidence that this trend is ending. And even if we come back down to the trend and make a higher high, then we have something else going on, but we're going to get a lower high in the Elliott oscillator. In the near term, we should get a reversal. Till this trend breaks, nothing really to catch up on here. Okay, so the weekly time frame, really, really high probability that we're going to reverse, and in my opinion, in a major way. Okay, now on SPX on the daily time frame, we're looking at this wedge here. All right, do we have to go any higher? Well, according to our indicators, we don't have a very, very near term. And I'm using kind of this blank sheet here, but we have this blank board, but we do have another board where we left off on the public. In this very, very near term, either are we going to get a little bit higher to be overbought, or are we going to get this negative divergence in this frame right here? That's a possibility to go up a little higher. The thing is, we already have divergences, no big deal. We could be done now. But if you change your settings, and I know a lot of people on this lower time frames use analog. So if you go to your price takeoff log scaling, your peaks match up perfectly. So you have a beautiful trend line, peak, peak, peak here, and peak there. Could this still go a little higher? It doesn't change anything. It still could. But just note that it doesn't have to. If we get a lower high next week, the reversal could have started already. Okay. Let's go back to log. And we already checked out all our oscillators and indicators on that time frame. The VIX. So the VIX, in that low cycle window, remember we said all of last week is that low area. Well, we're back testing this wedge. That did not hold. Looks more like we're creating possibly a larger wedge. And so we reached this bottom here, which is a pretty darn good trend line with a few lows here, 4 lows. Assuming that this does catch a low here on Friday, which was the VIX cycle low, the end of the window. And then since we made a new low here, what we could do, this is all pretty much one cycle. And now we can start to make a much bigger wedge formation. And so this might play a role here coming up in the intermediate time frame to where price may come up here, and that might be our first dip in the overall market. Reverse. I don't know if it'll get a lower, higher low, but the market could continue to finally break out after a little bit of volatility inside of this wedge. Eventually, this wedge is going to break out. Matter of when. We have a major cycle low here, so we could get a pop and then a drop into another VIX cycle low. That ranges into 823. So we'll have to keep a lookout for 823. A couple weeks away. So, between that time, if we get a pop and then a drop here, could be a higher low, could be lower low, then we'll look for in that time frame either higher high, higher low. Again, I think it's going to be a higher low. Seems more likely because we're going to break out of this wedge, come back, and then start to get much bigger moves after that. But we just don't know what's going to happen until we get into that window frame, and let's see where price is at for the VIX. All right. Let's go to SPY on the 65. And again, that video on SPX, just a fantastic outlook for lesson on distribution. And if you want to get that lesson, we went through it at one point in a lot more detail back there. And then we updated what was going on recently. So if you want to check out that video, please consider that. Many more things that come with the membership. And so here's where we left off. Let's go to 65. Now, here's SPY, a little bit different because of our phantom wick here, but we're using that wick. So what we were looking for, and we knew that we could not eliminate the bullish outcome. And the reason why is because on the weekly time frame, even though we were bearish on the daily in the 65, we knew that the weekly time frame had not lost structure. Okay, now it's proven itself. On SPX, we only got to this 23.6 and it held. We made a low, a higher low, and a higher low. And this was a liquidity area. That's what we talked about today. But the phantom wick came down to the 382, which gave us a clue, not knowing that it gave us that clue, that the low was in at the 382, and that was a nice ABC wave 4. Now, if you want to bring the both wave counts together, SPX did not make this low, so we think it made it ABC for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? As for SPY, we have the low here. We're looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So according to our wave counts, and it's speculation, you can always change that in hindsight, but in speculation, we think we're going to get one more high here. Okay. This is a much more much similar situation to 2021 top going into 2022, where we didn't have a steep retracement for wave 3 and into wave 4. So this is already done. It doesn't have to. Yes, you could get a breakdown and then it goes up, but this looks like it wants to hold just like 2021 and get just an incremental new high. And we'll keep this here for our trend, which we broke down that trend. Now we're going to keep an eye on this possible low here. And let's see if we can break above this high. If we break above this high, it's most likely that we'll make a brand new high. And you can see that the candle reversals right here. But do we get much past this? I don't really think so. That will be divergence on every time frame in this very near term. So we can get rid of these. And if After that, at some point when we do reverse, this is going to be a big zone. This is going to be the former all-time highs. If this does not hold, if this does not break down and then rip back above it, then we're looking for a fake break. And ultimately, that's a Wyckoff distribution series that ends up much, much lower at that point. Okay. So not a lot of things to line up here in the near term. But if we use this one to that peak, that might be a good area to get to, about 778. If the market goes a little bit higher, that's probably your zone for resistance. A resistance zone. Even if you come up here, come back down a little bit and go just a tad bit higher, whatever the case is, to get to 780, maybe it wants that round number. That will be the zone for us to reverse. Okay, so that's what we have for you. Hope to see you in the Discord. Come check us out. It's $10. If you don't like it, just discontinue. No big deal. All right, have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and we'll talk to you Monday, hopefully.